Alright, nerds. I'm on a bit of an X-Men kick because I started watching X-Men 97. So, let's do a tier list about that. Pretty sure this is Angel. Just gonna drop him in C tier. He's got wings. That's pretty much all I know about him. The only interesting thing about him, really, is when Apocalypse turns him into Archangel and he can, like, throw the metal stuff out of his wings. I think that's kind of cool, but on his own, just kind of whatever. I don't know who this is. So, yeah, whatever. Banshee. He can scream really loud. He can fly with it. That's kind of cool, but let's say C tier. Not super interesting. Kind of don't care. Excuse me. Beast. Yeah, he's going into S tier. You know, you see him and you think he's going to be like the muscle of the group, but his skills are more in his like agility and acrobatics, and he's just super intelligent. You know, in like any animated show, even in the movies, he's just like, he's the main X-Men going to like the court hearings and stuff like that. So I think it's cool that like, you know, he's absolutely down to fight, but he mostly goes after situations in a civilized manner. I think it's kind of cool. Blob, B tier, basic enemy. It's alright. I don't got much to say. Yeah, that's it. Just one of the enemies for him to fight. Colossus, put an A tier. Pretty cool. It's going to get a lot more spotlight with the Deadpool movies that have come out. But, I mean, he's just a cool guy. You know, the Russian accent always slaps. I don't know. I don't got much to say about him. Cyclops. Put him in A tier. You know, he's like the leader of the X-Men when Professor X isn't around. All the movies definitely do him dirty. I will say that. They turn him into even more of a nerd because he's definitely a nerd in the animated shows. But the animated shows actually make him useful. I guess, like, they actually respect his name, but the movies do not like him for whatever reason. I do not know who this is. Deadpool. He's cool. He's funny. I didn't know about him till the movies, so whatever you want to do with that information, I don't care. He's an interesting character, but it can get tiring, his sense of humor. I still like it, but, like, you know, after a couple hours, I'm kind of over it and kind of want a more serious story. But, so it's, like, perfect for just a movie. But super excited for Deadpool 3 to see him interact with Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. That's going to be fun. Emma Frost, I'll put in B tier. Definitely above Blob. I don't really know much about her, to be honest. But, all I know is that she's like some sort of telepath that can turn her skin into like diamonds or whatever. Alright, Gambit, Voodoo. One of my favorite X-Men, always has been. His Cajun accent is cool. His drip goes hard. Just using a deck of cards and using them as grenades, basically, is always awesome. Plus, he has a staff to just knock people around with, which is always fun. Havoc's pretty cool. I just don't know much about him. Put him at the top of B tier. So, you know, instead of shooting laser beams from his eyes, they're coming from his fists. That's all I know. Iceman, that's S tier. Super cool powers. I'm always a big fan of like ice and frost powers, whatever. But also up there with one of my favorites. I like him a little bit more than Beast. Super cool. No pun intended. But yeah. I remember I had like a little toy where you could like actually put him in the freezer when I was a kid. And it just, I don't know. I was obsessed with it for like a week until I lost it. And you just like slide around on his little ice slide thing. It was pretty cool. Yeah, Juggernaut. So we'll put him at the top of A for right now. Super interesting villain. Like, no matter what you do, you can't stop him. He wears the helmet so you can't attack him telepathically. Pretty cool. You know, I always like villains that feel like there's no hope of winning against them, and that's the feeling I get from Juggernaut. Kitty Pryde, aka Shadowcat. I'm gonna actually go in S tier. Super cool. I'm always a big fan of phasing powers for some reason. I don't know. I just think they're cool. And I don't know if anybody else has seen that comic image where she's phasing through the mirror and just kicking the lights out of Emma Frost. That's a super cool image. But other than that, I don't know. I'm just a fan of the character. I don't know who this is. Magneto, Voodoo tier. He's my favorite villain in any series of media ever. He's like super threatening, but like also respects the good guys at the same time. It's a super interesting dynamic, especially his relationship with Professor X. But like, you kind of understand where he's coming from, even if he is going about it in the wrong way. But like, I don't know. Everybody needs to study Magneto because that's how you make a cool villain. I don't know if this is just Angel again or someone else, but I'm just going to put him here. Mystique. Put her in between these two. A-tier villain. You know, she's not... I mean, she knows how to fight and stuff, but like... her threat isn't from her fighting skills, it's from her espionage. You know, being able to like shapeshift into whoever and just cause issues that way. It's a hard threat to deal with because you never really know what's going on. You know, especially at all the like the political stuff that X-Men like to do. Super, super cunning villain. That's what makes her interesting. Nightcrawler is also in Voodoo tier. That BAMF sound effect, we all know it, we all love it, he owns it. I guess in the later comics and like even some of the video games, like they give him swords to use too, but I don't know, it's pretty awesome. He's just a cool guy. I don't know who this is. Phoenix / Jean Grey, I'm just gonna call her Phoenix. Top of A tier. Like, she's supposed to be one of the strongest X-Men, but I'm kind of sick of the Dark Phoenix storyline where she just gets corrupted by that, you know, that cosmic entity. I kind of just want to watch her just chill, you know, and be part of the team. Because it's either like she gets corrupted and they got to bring her down, or she stays behind and uses Cerebro. I'm hoping in X-Men 97, like, she's more useful. But still, I'm a big fan. It's just, I feel like she's underutilized a lot. I don't know who this is. Professor X, top of S tier. You know, there's that saying where he's so powerful that, like, they always have to cripple him or find a way to take him out of the story because he can just solve all the problems. And I agree with that, but, you know, just as a mentor figure to everybody else, pretty cool guy. Psylocke. I don't know much about her, but I remember I had an old X-Men video game on the Sega Genesis, and I'd always pick her because of her cool sword and the fact that she's got purple hair. So, I mean, that's really all you need. This is either Pyro or Sunspot. I'm not sure. Put him at the bottom of A tier. Actually, we'll put him at the top of B tier. Fire powers, kind of overdone for me. I mean, it's cool. It's just I never see them being used creatively, so it's whatever. Quicksilver, he can run real fast. We'll put him. It's kind of the same thing with fire powers. It's kind of overdone. whatever. It's not their fault, but, you know, I'm sure these characters have been around for a very, very long time. It's just running fast isn't very interesting to me. Unlike Rogue, who goes into Voodoo tier, where, like, she just keeps absorbing the strengths of people she touches, and can even, you know, mimic their powers for a little bit. It's badass. I mean, and she can fly. Plus, her relationship with Gambit is super interesting. But, I don't know. That's really all I got. I don't know. She's like the main muscle of the group instead of Beast, which is super funny. Sabertooth, put him in C tier. He's just a foil to Wolverine. I don't know. That's all I got. Scarlet Witch. I like her more as an Avenger. I know it's Magneto's daughter, but as an X-Men, she's just too strong, I feel like, to be part of the team. You know, like, it's kind of like the Professor X situation. So, like, within the X-Men, like, strictly, I'd put her at the top of B, bottom of A. But as an Avenger, I'd put her in S tier, so I'm not really sure what to do. So I'll just put her at the bottom of A for now, because of the reasons I just stated. Anyway, moving on. Storm. Top of S tier. They really put some respect on her name with the X-Men 97 series. Called her an Omega threat level mutant in the first episode, so that's pretty cool. Pretty satisfying. I'm bringing Sabertooth down to trash. I don't know. He's just boring. I don't really like him. I don't care about him. I don't know who this is. Maybe Warpath, but I don't know. I think this is Toad. Bottom of C tier. No. I think, like, he can't do anything with his power set, but somehow he's able to give the X-Men a run for their money. And then Wolverine, we'll put right next to Cyclops. So I like Wolverine. However, he has spent so much time in the spotlight in recent media that he's starting to get boring. It's kind of like the same issue with Batman. Like, the characters are so hyped up, they can't lose any fights, they can't do any wrong. You know, like, oh, they're so tragic, they can't find anybody they love. It's kind of old and tiresome, which is why, like, the X-Men 97 cartoon so far, like, they're making him actually part of the team instead of just being his own lone wolf. And I've been rewatching some of the older cartoon, and he is kind of like his lone wolf, but, like, the thing he uses more than anything is his sense of smell, and that makes it more interesting. Other than that, he just can heal fast, and he's got the claws. And he's in love with Jean Grey. But, however it makes sense what I'm saying, where, like, him and, like, Batman and stuff, it's just kind of old. Like, I still like the character, but it's just so overdone that it's starting to get a little tiresome. But let's see here. I'll put Professor X at the bottom of S tier. Yeah, that looks good. So yeah, hope you all are watching X-Men 97 too and are enjoying it. Peace.